Hello, I'm Mike Biselli, your host for this podcast and the global community that has rallied around it. During this episode, I took a moment to discuss the recently launched COVID-19 data challenge with the American Heart Association, Hitachi, and our team at Burst IQ, and to offer a behind-the-scenes look how the data challenge came to be and why this global initiative was actually years in the making. Before we dive in, it is evident now more than ever the tremendous need for connectedness and collaboration during this pandemic. And there is no doubt we will achieve solving the problems in front of our world by banding together. Roll up your sleeves and let's go. Welcome to Passionate Pioneers with Mike Biselli, where we highlight and speak with the innovators, the game changers, and the pioneers who are deeply passionate and relentless in solving the problems our world is facing today. This is your opportunity to connect with and learn from these leaders and to support them on their mission. Perhaps they will soon be hearing your story as well. This is Passionate Pioneers with Mike Biselli. I look forward to having you on this journey with us. Welcome to session 4 of A Moment with Mike on our podcast. Recently, our team at Burst IQ announced a global collaboration with the American Heart Association and Hitachi in order to launch a data challenge to find out why COVID-19 affects some ethnic and social groups more than others. To be a part of such an important and needed initiative with industry-leading organizations like Hitachi and the American Heart Association has quickly become one of the proudest moments in my career. And while I'm first going to discuss the data challenge a bit more in depth and how you and your colleagues can get involved, I'm also excited to share how this data challenge came together, which is an inspiring story in itself, as the collaboration with Hitachi and the American Heart Association was years in the making and didn't just come together since the pandemic took over the world. But first, let's discuss this important data challenge. Data on race, under-resourced communities, and COVID-19 is limited, but disproportionately high rates of sickness and death seem to be emerging, particularly among African Americans, U.S. Hispanics, Native people, and those in rural areas. To accelerate breakthroughs and understanding of these connections, the American Heart Association, the largest voluntary health organization dedicated to building longer, healthier lives, Hitachi Vantara, the digital infrastructure and solutions subsidiary of Hitachi, and our company at Burst IQ, the leading provider of blockchain-based secure data solutions for the healthcare industry, have launched a data challenge to expand the resources available to researchers around the world. The data challenge is specifically focused on testing the relationships between COVID-19 and other health conditions, as well as health disparities and social determinants of health that bring a higher burden of illness or mortality based on factors such as ethnicity, gender, geography, or income. Our global COVID-19 datasets will be available on the American Heart Association's Precision Medicine platform, a central hub to the cardiovascular and stroke research community with vast and diverse datasets and cloud-based workspaces that enable state-of-the-art high-performance computing, analytics, and collaboration to accelerate scientific discovery. Through the data challenge, COVID-19 researchers will be able to utilize the platform's protected workspaces, which are equipped with state-of-the-art analytical tools, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. Researchers may use datasets hosted on the platform as well as bring their own data to address the unsolved questions of how COVID-19 may be disproportionately affecting those with health disparities. Dr. Jennifer Hall, the chief of data science for the American Heart Association, said people living in under-resourced communities, particularly African Americans and U.S. Hispanics, appear to be dying of COVID-19 at disproportionately high rates, as they're more likely to have underlying health conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, and obesity. Long before the pandemic, systemic challenges have contributed to disparities that impede some people from living long, healthy lives. COVID-19 has further exacerbated this issue. And Hitachi Vantara, who built the American Heart Association's precision medicine platform, will provide more than $100,000 in funding for prizes to support the management of a 2-step challenge and to recruit top scientists to this critical effort. 6 $5,000 prizes will be awarded at the end of stage 1. The researchers will then compete in a final stage for $15,000 prize. All applications will be peer-reviewed by a panel of data science and public health experts. Paul Watson, Hitachi Vantara's Healthcare and Life Sciences Vice President, stated, improving collaboration around data between researchers and scientists enables the rapid co-creation of new solutions that more quickly and effectively tackle existing and new healthcare threats, such as COVID-19. Working together, our three organizations will deliver a paradigm shift in the way researchers and their institutions leverage data to solve medical challenges like COVID-19. And Frank Khoda, our CEO and co-founder at Burst IQ, beautifully sums up the importance of this data challenge by saying the entire world is facing an unprecedented challenge with COVID-19. Our collaboration with the American Heart Association and Hitachi Vantara on this data challenge allows the research community to truly accelerate the pace of COVID-19 research. And as a collaborative network, it will have a long-lasting impact, not just for COVID-19, but far beyond. I'm excited for you to learn more about this data challenge and, of course, to get involved. To learn more, head over to burstiq.com, and on the main page, there will be a Get Involved button. We look forward to having you join the fight. I also want to share the backstory of how all of this came together, because I have received numerous messages since the public launch from friends and colleagues asking how this data challenge came together so quickly with two very large organizations. Well, as I love to say, overnight success always seems to happen on day 5,454. And that's exactly what happened here. The opportunity to work alongside Hitachi and the American Heart Association was years in the making. In 2014, I met Carrie Sims, the current vice president of America's Digital Insights at Hitachi Vantara, via a mutual friend, as I was just starting to dream up Catalyst, my healthcare innovation campus in downtown Denver. I shared my vision of Catalyst with Carrie, and he quickly recognized the magnitude of what this campus could become. Carrie became a strong advocate and partner with Catalyst, and his contributions for the campus are still felt today. Also, over the years, our families have spent time skiing together and celebrating many successes of Carrie's amazing children. In 2016, Carrie introduced me to Paul Watson, who I quoted earlier, as we were both attending the HIMSS conference in Orlando. Paul was traveling from his home base in London, and me, of course, from Denver. I met up with Paul and his team, and we immediately hit it off. Awesome ideas being shared about improving population health and specifically around diabetes management through the power of technology. We got to discuss what Hitachi, this global giant, was working on and what I was seeing in the tech and startup innovation community. Well, later in 2016, I had a motivational speech at the Giant Health event in London, and I asked Paul and his team to help sponsor this emerging healthcare innovation conference, and they quickly stepped up and made it happen. It was so humbling to see this industry giant, Hitachi, willing and excited to support a young upstart like the Giant Health event being held over in London. And by the way, that was the first year of Giant Health, which is now thriving over in the UK, thanks to Barry Schreier and his team's event. Barry, keep up the great work over there. And of course, while over in London, Paul and his team and myself, we also shared in a couple pints in the London pubs and further built our friendship while I was over in the UK. Well, also in 2016, as one of Burst IQ's first advisors, I introduced Frank Khoda, the co-founder and CEO of Burst IQ, who I quoted earlier, to Carrie Sims, as I knew they would hit it off, given how smart both of them are and the ideas they have around technology and innovation. Frank and Carrie have been close friends ever since. Then, when I became a full-time operator at Burst IQ in September of 2019, I reached back out to Paul to update him about our efforts at Burst IQ and what we have in front of us moving forward. He was very excited to learn about our capabilities, and subsequently in November of 2019, our executive team went over to London to spend several days with Paul and his team for them to better understand our technology and for us to better understand what Paul and Hitachi's vision was moving forward. Well, then when the coronavirus pandemic broke out, Paul reached out to our team at Burst IQ about a potential need for our platform in regards to what the American Heart Association wanted to achieve with the data challenge. Our technical teams at Burst IQ and Hitachi quickly got together to integrate each respective technology, and it went incredibly fast and went very well. I'm so proud of our technical team and leads at Burst IQ and what they achieved so fast with Hitachi's team and the American Heart Association's precision medicine platform. As you can see, these types of partnerships and collaborations, they don't happen overnight typically. But as we continue to build those trusted relationships as entrepreneurs and innovators and continue to show value back in the marketplace, it's amazing what can be done together. I'm so humbled and impressed with the efforts here with this COVID-19 data challenge that the American Heart Association, Hitachi, and Burst IQ have launched. We are already receiving significant inquiries and submissions from around the world. I cannot wait to see what these researchers discover and better understand, given what the challenge is meant to address. I want to thank all of the team members at the American Heart Association, Hitachi, and my team members at Burst IQ for pulling off this incredible feat. I know it will have lasting impact on millions of lives around the world, and I know we're just getting going. But as I said earlier, the overnight success typically happens on day 5,454. Thank you to everybody for hearing the backstory of this important data challenge. And again, we look forward to having you involved. Head over to burstiq.com to learn more and to submit your opportunity to join us in this data challenge. Thank you to everybody and your efforts around the world to continue to fight the pandemic by doing it together. I look forward to being in touch. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today on Passionate Pioneers with Mike Biselli. We'd love to hear your feedback about the podcast so we can continue to improve this community and to further support the pioneers being featured. Lastly, please take a moment to subscribe to the podcast and invite your friends and colleagues to join us. This is Passionate Pioneers with Mike Biselli. I look forward to having you back with us during our next episode.